Hello everyone, welcome to online lecture of Green Valley International School. Today we will learn science in that chapter number 10, motion and measurement of distances. In grade 5th, all of you have learnt how to measure the distance, means to measure the size of object from one point to the another point. And we have learnt all the units to measure the length and conversion of one unit to another unit by using that multiplication and division method. Now, consider that you are having vacation. Though you all are having vacation, but due to corona you are not able to go from one place to another place. But before this situation, you must have planned your vacation. Some would have planned to visit Mama's place, which would be in the nearby village. There you must be traveling by using bullock cart. Sometimes even we travel by walk, sometimes we travel by car, sometimes we travel by train or by aeroplane or by ship. So, this walk, ship, scooter, train, rickshaw, they all are the means of transport. Transport means to go from one place to another place. But how can you decide that you must choose to go by cycle, or you must to choose how to go, or let us say how you will decide whether you have to choose cycle or whether you have to choose scooter or car. If you want to go from here to Ahmedabad, then obviously you must choose either bike or scooter or train. You cannot choose cycle for that, or you cannot go from Morbi to Ahmedabad by walk, right? So, for knowing or for choosing the means of transport, we have to first of all measure the distance, or we should be knowing the distance between two places. So, this was the need of distance measurement to decide the means of transport. But for means of transport, we should be knowing how the transportation evolved from one time to another time, or from ancient time to the modern time. In ancient time, or we can say this is the history of transport. How it changed. In ancient time, people used to travel everywhere by walk only. Wherever they want to go, they have to go by walk, because they were not having any option at that time. Afterwards, they started using animals. Animals like horse, donkey, elephant, etc. Afterwards, there was the discovery of the basic component, or the basic part, basic requirement of the transport, which is wheel. There was the discovery of wheel, and this is considered as the turning point in the history of transport. After the discovery of wheel, they started using cart, bullock cart, camel cart, etc. Then there was discovery of engine. After the discovery of engine, they introduced so many vehicles. Vehicles like scooter, cycle, vehicles like aeroplane, train, even railways were laid down after the discovery of engine. So this is all about the history of transport. First of all, they travel by walk, then they used animals for the transportation, then there was the discovery of wheel which turned whole history, and then there came the carts, different animal carts, then there came engine, and after the discovery of engine there were different vehicles, and even nowadays we are having different vehicles which we are using to go from one place to another place according to the distance that we need to travel. Okay, so this is all about history of transport. Now let us learn how to measure distance. Suppose we are playing a game. In that I have to divide this board into two equal parts. I don't have any instrument with me to measure this length of the board. Then what can I do? Let us say I am using my handspans to measure the distance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 handspans. So how can I divide this length into two equal parts? I have to mark at 6 handspans distance, so that it would be 6 and that part would be also 6 handspan. But what if my another friend comes and he or she measures this distance? It may be like 13 handspan for him total length. Then how he will divide that? He will divide it 6.5 and 6.5. So I cannot say this 6 part is mine and this 6 handspans are yours. Why? Because that both the lengths would be different. For him 6 handspans would be smaller. For me 6 handspans would be larger, because the length of my handspan would be larger as compared to the handspan of my friend. So there would be the confusion. How can we divide that thing into two equal parts, or let us say 4 equal parts? For that we have to use some particular length measurement instrument. On that, and that length measurement instrument, what can you say? Which length instrument we will use? Scale, obviously, right? Even we can use string, but if we have to measure that half string, then exact half string we cannot measure. So the particular thing which we can use for the measurement of distance is scale. But what is measurement first? Comparing unknown quantity with known quantity. If I have scale, that quantity I know that this scale is having 15 centimeter, then I will compare the length of this board with that scale. I am comparing unknown length with the known length. So I am measuring the length. But what is that known quantity known as? This known quantity is known as unit of measurement. Different quantities will have different units. Whenever I measure something, let us say I have measured the length of this board in handspans. It was 12 handspan. right? In this, there are two parts. This first is the number 12 and the second part is handspan. So this is value and this is unit. So whenever we are measuring something, that measurement will have two parts, the value or numerical part and the another part is unit. Unit may change, it can be 12 handspan, it can be 10 cubit, it can be 10 meter. So these all are numbers and these are the units of measurement. But whenever we are measuring something, we are measuring particular quantity, that time that particular quantity will have one particular standard unit. In case of length, here the standard unit is meter. The standard unit of length is meter. All the other units like kilometer, meter, centimeter, millimeter, they are the units of length which we are using nowadays, but out of that all the four, meter is the standard unit. Because of the difference in the body parts of different persons, we have to follow particular units for the measurement. That unit are same throughout the world. If I will measure the length of this board in centimeter and if my friend will measure the length of the same board in centimeter, the length would be same. But if I will measure this length, or let us say I will measure the length of this room from one place to another, one corner to another corner by my footsteps and by my friend's footsteps, what do you think? Will they be same or different? Obviously it would be different because the length of handspans are different or length of footsteps are different for each and every person. So there won't be the standardization in the measurement. For that standardization or for that uniqueness to follow in the measurement, we should be following the standard units like kilometer, meter, centimeter, millimeter in the measurement of length. Thank you.